love for Halloween that has compelled him to build many different displays, haunted mansions, mazes, and even led him to learn to walk on stilts. Please give a warm welcome to Toastmaster Gary Adams as he delivers his speech titled, "From Trick-or-Treating to Chime Traveling, Halloween's Journey Through Childhood."
Halloween is that time of year that we sometimes, decorate in very foolish ways. Trick-or-treating was exciting as a child, but sometimes terrifying. Good morning, Toastmasters and guests.
Good morning.
Good morning. How many of you remember that one house when you were a kid that all the kids in the neighborhood were talking about? They were all scared. It had the flashing lights, maybe some smoke, and scary sounds. We all would try to build up the courage to walk up into that house. We might slowly walk down that long, dark trail. No way I'm going up there. And then there's our parents. Oh, they were great. Go, just go, it'll be okay. We would make it. And then we would run back as fast as our little legs would take us. And of course, they're laughing the whole time. What about the costumes? How many of you, I know I did, remember those plastic costumes we had that were just printed on one side with a cheesy little mask? We would all stand, look in the mirror, I am Frankenstein. Except on Halloween nights, we would get out and we would see the back of everybody else's costume and realize we all were just walking around with a break yellow thing on the back. And then there was some of us that had those parents. That would build these complex contraptions out of cardboard boxes, milk jugs, and whatever else Morris's parents found around the house to put together the costume. But we didn't care. We thought we really were King Kong. So it worked. Then we started to progress. We got more complicated with our costumes, became a lot more elaborate, a lot more creative in what we were making. And then we heard of haunted houses, these places you could go and have scare actors and people hiding behind every corner. Myself, I love these things. This was one of my favorite parts of Halloween. It was getting out, going trick-or-treating, finding all of those scares. You know, we would all end the night, that last scare we had, we would run all the way home, and as long as we had our bounty of candy, that once we got home, we looked at like this trophy that we had earned to express our bravery for going to all the houses in the neighborhood. But there was always more. I wanted to create more things. I wanted to build more things. I started at 9 and 10 years old building coffins and tombstones and hanging things from the tree. It's a good thing you didn't live on my street. It really is. And we all learned to create these elaborate costumes. We would continue to build more and do more. Halloween ended up being a lot more to many of us. Some of us, Linda, learned how to coffee stain a brand new pair of gloves just so they would look nasty and dirty. Granted, when I was a kid, I would just rub them in the dirt and it was good enough. It meant special things to us, but some of us sometimes took it a little farther. There's a few of us that became the fans of Halloween. It wasn't good enough to just have a costume. We had to create a character to go. We had to have an entire persona that went with our costume. Those of us went on to try to develop and build elaborate haunted houses with lights and fog machines. We would find ways to get all of our friends together to hide around every little corner to try to scare any of our friends and our neighbors. Maybe that was the funnest part. I definitely enjoyed the scaring. But then I ended up one year, and we would have had stilts in here if the ceilings weren't so low. I taught myself how to walk on stilts. That was probably one of the most complicated things I ever did, and I'm not going to tell you how many times I actually fell down. A lot of what has motivated me with Halloween was the creativity. It was about learning to build more and do more. The thrill of Halloween was the creation of something that was something we'd never done before. To many of us, Carmelo, it's his time of year to be a rock star. There's others of us that it's the time of year that we all learn that Linda Miller really is the evil queen of Halloween. Roger Brault once said, "There is a child in each of us, still trick-or-treating, looking for that brightly lit porch." Thank you.